In this video, I'm going to quickly show how you change out the radio in the Dodge Ram to the new S100 radio. So first thing we're going to do is take out the screws from the top. These are just the stars bolts. Take out these two screws. And then this whole front fascia piece will snap off and fall down a little bit. Grab that screw out. What I do is just kind of set it down. Next thing you're going to do is just unscrew the radio. 4 screws on each side. Just use a socket. This is something anybody can do with a couple hand tools. It is truly a 10-minute radio swap. And that's because these radios are designed to be an exact match for the factory. Your harness is going to be a plug and play, and you won't need to worry about adapters for steering wheels and wiring harnesses and dash face plates. Once those 4 screws are out, the radio just pulls out. From the back of it, if you can see, we're going to unplug the antenna, unplug the satellite antenna, and then unplug the main harness. Factory radio. The S100 radio match is, you'll notice, the same size, same format. We're not going to use a satellite antenna, but we will use the factory antenna and the factory wiring harness. What we're going to do, we've got an adapter for the radio antenna. We just simply plug in. That gives us our antenna. For the wiring, we've got a separate harness. It looks like this. You'll notice the harness fits directly into the factory harness. Plug it in, clamp it down, and it's solid. From this, we've got a couple wires that plug into the radio, and we're done. First thing we're going to plug in is the main power. You'll hear it beep. Second thing we're going to plug in is the power on. And the third is this lead. Plugs right in. And the nice thing is these are matched so that only the right one will plug in. Now we also have the ability to plug in additional cables for iPod control and also additional cables for the for USB connectivity. The one thing we have to add is our satellite GPS antenna. I advise leave it in the bag. We're going to plug it into the back of the radio at the top, and then I usually just stick this back up in the dash somewhere. As long as it's towards the top of the dash, you'll be fine. Tuck the wires back. Plug the antenna in. When it's solid, tuck your wires back. This is your steering wheel console. All this goes back into the back behind the radio. Along with your amp wires. Make sure none of the wires are in the way. The radio pushes straight back into the same spot as the factory. Take our 4 screws, take our driver, put the 4 screws back. It's always a good idea to test it before you get it all put back together. So we'll do that as well. Done. Last 2 screws in. Screws are in. Take our faceplate, push it back up in the spot, snaps in, and we're ready to go. Put the key in, turn it on. We get our Dodge logo. And we are good to go. Test out the navigation. We got our GPS signal. It knows where we're at. Test our other features. All the settings look good. And that concludes the install.